So it's now time for the Triumph Motorcycles Superbike Class Race 2. We had a strong start by Hilton Redling-Ace in the 888 Motorcycles Kawasaki, but unfortunately he suffered a clutch issue, was forced to pull off the track while running a strong fourth. Well, they've been working feverishly in the back of the garage over there to ensure that he gets back out on track here for race 2.
Yeah, 17 of them out there, 9 racing laps again. And this is where some of the real fun happens as well. We had so much already today, not only in motorcars but bikes, as we are doing now. And yeah, so it's going to be Q and Sneyman, fastest time of a 1:12.595 in the last race. Malcolm Rapson, not only the Superbike class runner, but also a Masters section runner with Ronald Slamet, the Red Baron. As they pointed out, of course, with Hilton Redling-Ace and those issues that he's been having, but luckily he's back out there again. You can't bet against the man. Mark van den Berg, Slate van Niekerk, first of the 600s are the ZX6, and Tristan Pinar on his R6 Yamaha.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, Malcolm Rapson is a multiple Western Province champion and the master. The Red Baron, Ronald Slamet, is a multiple Western Province champion, and he races in the ZX10 Cup. Actually, that machine, he is pretty much prepared for ZX10 racing, and he has been struggling with the machine from an electronics perspective. He suffered in race 1, this is clear. You could actually see how he was suffering in terms of speed. He brought the bike home, so it's now time for race 2, and let's see what work they've managed to do in between to be able to go along and get him going. So it's going to be interesting. Mark van den Berg was superb in race 1. He had a wonderful battle with Malcolm Rapson, had us on the edge of our seats, and he will want to go along and repeat that. As he said early on, he hasn't raced in a good 2 years. This is only his second event in that time. So he wants to have another go. And of course, Kevin Sneyman, well, he wants more of the same. He dominated race 1. The big thing is here, the more experienced riders are going to have to ensure that Kevin does not get the whole shot and break away, because if that's the case, well, they'll be racing for second position. Kevin is extremely fast, and he's going to want more of this. The red lights are being prepared, they're on, and away we go. A good start from Slamet on the outside. Ronald Slamet is going to try and get the whole shot now as they drive down through towards turn 1, and he will swoop across the line and take the lead. Sneyman moves us there into second position, and it looks like Malcolm Rapson has made a decent start. He'll be there in third place. They power out of turn 1 now and go up Ubas straight towards Quarry for the first time. Sneyman is keeping a watching brief here in second place. He's wanting to see what the Baron is getting up to. Dogging his wheel tracks through the kink now towards Interceptor. And while in the meantime, the rest of the field are filing through. So far, there appears to be no casualties.
Well, Nationals up in 2 weeks, of course. Ronald Slamet on that ZX10 coming through now into the right-hander at Super Spiral Sweep. Down onto the back straight will then run now. Let's see Q and Sneyman on the Fireblade in the slipstream. He will look towards the inside as they go up to turn 5. And surely he will take the lead right back from the Red Baron. As he does, it's Honda van Kawasaki now, and then they'll come around to complete lap 1 of 9 as they go past the old chicane for the bikes, and then underneath the City of Cape Town Wheatfield Motors Bridge.
Well, already Sneyman has taken the lead. He has already taken the lead. Leg dangling out on the brakes there towards turn 1. And Slamet is now doing the chasing there in second position, and he's going to have to try and keep hold of Sneyman and not let him break away. Malcolm Rapson is there in third position. He's recovered well after a mediocre start for him. And then, well, Slate van Niekerk was in fourth place, but Mark van den Berg, I think, has managed to slice past there. And I think Redling-Ace is there in the vicinity as well. I think he's there in seventh position.
Another difficult start, Doc, for Hilton Redling-Ace. I know Tiny was mentioning earlier on about around 10,000 RPM that the clutch was slipping. So let me tell you one thing, he's been having some trials and tribulations as far as things are concerned today. Yeah, down the back straight now, the Fireblade holds it as he starts sprinting away from the quacker of the Red Baron, or then into Cape Town corner, or Pertamina Fastron nowadays, at turn 5.
Yeah, Hilton Redlingace has made up 2 positions going down the back straight. He's blasted past Pinar, as well as it looks like, I think, Funny Cat. And in the meantime, Mark van der Berg is also managing to carve his way through. So Snyman has got a 1.3 second lead now over Ronald Slamet. Slamet has now fallen back into the clutches of Malcolm Rapson. Rapson is snapping there at his heels in 3rd position. And with 4th place now, Mark van der Berg. He's really having a good weekend here, and he's now chasing the 2 in front of him. In 5th place, we've still got Hilton Redlingace. He's not breaking away from those 2 kids, though. Funny Kak and Pinar are still there, climbing all over him. And Lord Slave Funny Kak at the tail end of that group, keeping a watching brief there and waiting to pounce.
Watch them as they come around. 7 laps left to go in this race. Q Snyman, a 1:12.700 for the number 19 Fireblade, and already 1.3 seconds between himself and Ronald Slamet. Watch out there, Malcolm Rapson, a further 1.6 back. Rapson down the back straight though on Ronald Slamet, as I said.
Yeah, he pulls out the slipstream and tried to dive up onto the inside. Slamet very late on the brakes though. I know that bike was pretty unstable on the brakes, particularly into turn 1 and 5 respectively. It looks like he's managed to sort that out a bit, and he's managed to keep Rapson behind him for now. Rapson though lining up and trying to drive past him down the main straight. This time round he noses ahead on the brakes, then into turn 1. Malcolm Rapson takes over 2nd place.
And Hilton Redlingace up into 5th now, and 3.1 seconds off of the 4th place man, Mark van den Berg. But Mark van den Berg is 2nd in the Masters section. Redlingace will be 3rd in that section. Meanwhile, it is Slate van Niekerk, the 111 bike, that leads the 600 class at this moment in time. That's a Kawasaki ZX6. And that's ahead of Pinar by only 0.04 of a second. Lineker 3.1 seconds further back in 8th position. That's all the 600 class. Matthew Buser leads the Superbike Challenge ahead of Brad Bosworth by half a second.
Well, the battle between Hilton Redlingace and the 2 youngsters behind him there, they are actually climbing all over him as they come out of Sarl Sweep down onto the back straight. He's managing to hold his own though. Slade van Niekerk is trying to power down behind him, as well as that Pinar there that is trying to also have a go, but still holding on is Hilton Redlingace. The veteran is managing to keep them at bay, but in the meantime, just going out, having fun on that Fireblade is Kieran Snyman. He is running away with this one. 3.2 seconds clear now of Malcolm Rapson, and Rapson himself has now pulled 1 second clear of Ronald Slamet. So he's got a bit of a breathing space, but the question arises, we have a rider down at the exit of turn 1. So I think it could be Slate van Niekerk that may have put it down. We'll keep an eye out on that.
That's out of the lead of the 600 class there, Doc. So Pinar will take over the lead, looks like it, of this race. Lineker up into 2nd. We'll wait now and see. Snyman still leads the way though. 3.1 seconds between himself and Rapson.
Well, we saw what... okay, so it is Slate van Niekerk that's put it down. The rider is okay, he's up, he's walking, but unfortunately out of this race. What a shame. He was gunning there for the lead, and it was at the exit of turn 1, it was all over.
Yeah, that means Pinar now leads the 600 class from Lineker. Hall inherits 3rd position then, now mixing it currently with the Superbike Challenge riders. And Bosworth will still be 2nd over there, ahead of Wayne Orenser, who's 3rd in class at the moment, and 14th overall.
Well, Ronald Slamet is now losing ground. The yellow flag was out though, and Mark van den Berg was on the inside of Slamet. Managed to make the move stick on the brakes, but so Mark van den Berg then in 3rd position. Ronald Slamet is looking to try and capitalize and regain that 3rd place, but I think he just does not have the strength in that bike today.
Well, it's 4 laps left to go, including the one we are currently on at the moment. Lap 5 has been completed, and still Sneeman 4.3 seconds ahead of Malcolm Rapson. Ronald Slamet a further 2 seconds back. Van den Berg will be 1/10 of a second off of Slamet for a while. He thinks he can get himself onto the podium in this second race of the day, whilst Redlingace is now 7.2 seconds off of Van den Berg at this time. Pienaar still leads the 600 class by 3.3 seconds over Lineker, as Clint Munton is in 8th position, but he'll be 6th in the standings for the Superbikes, and he is 6.9 seconds ahead of Van Nikke. And then Buser and Bosworth, 4/10 between the two of them in 10th and 11th, but the Superbike Challenge class.
Well, the race is now settling down a bit. Kieran Sneeman is really having fun on that machine. If you actually watch, keep an eye out of him. He's hanging his leg out. He's throwing the bike around with wild abandon. And he is just going out there and having a great time. He's pulled out 5 seconds over the rest of the field. In second place, Rapson is pretty much on his own. 2.8 seconds clear of Mark van den Berg, who's now pulled a comfortable gap over Ronald Slamet. So Slamet is going to have to probably hope for 2 fourth places today. In the meantime, Hilton Redlingace is there in 5th place, looking comfortable as well. He's now managed to pull the gap out, particularly after Slate van die Kerk's fall. I think Pienaar had to go along and back off because already there's 2 seconds gap now between the two of them.
Well, Quinton Weening and Daniel Frost round everything off here. They Superbike Challenge class runners 14th and 15th, and that will also mean 4th and 5th in class respectively. Here comes the number 19 Fireblade of Kieran Sneeman, crosses the line, and then we wait just a little while to the Jigsaw comes across the line of Malcolm Rapson. The gap between them 6.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Mark van den Berg has closed up the gap. He's made his way past Ronald Slamet and has actually closed up the gap to Malcolm Rapson to 3.3 seconds. This is the penultimate lap of the race though. Hilton Redlingace crosses the line just ahead of the Pienaar bike, that's 2.3 seconds back, who leads the 600s.
Yeah, as Emil Brunt was going along and mentioning now, we had a little bout of rain earlier, and I think that's basically taken some of the rubber off the circuit. And the guys are not turning the times that they were turning this morning. So although Kieran Sneeman has not messed around, he's turned a 1 minute 12.4 in this race, and is now comfortably 6.5 seconds clear of Malcolm Rapson. Rapson has turned a 13.0, and Mark van den Berg a 13.4. So Ronald Slamet, you can see he's definitely out of sorts. His fastest lap is a 14 dead, and that is certainly not the type of pace that you would expect from the Red Baron. So Ronald Slamet is just trying to accumulate points here today.
Yeah, I think its main thing is getting circuit time as well before the Nashville. He doesn't have to go and be a hero today. He just has to get some good mileage in, and basically like a test session for him. Kieran Sneeman crossed the line now, 7.7 seconds back. It's now Malcolm Rapson. Malcolm Rapson 3.5 seconds ahead of Van den Berg. Here comes Ronald Slamet now, still 3.5 seconds of himself. Hilton Redlingace, after the troubles he's been having, has fought back now valiantly. And he will be ahead there of Christian Pienaar coming through our position here now. Jason Lineker, second in class. Ahead there of Clint Munton, who's 6th in class, but 8th overall. And then the number 92 of Matthew van Niekerk on the R1 will come through the line surely now, ahead of Matthew Buser. And the closest battle on the circuit at the moment, Matthew Buser and Brad Bodsworth for the Superbike Challenge class.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I must say Munton is quite close to Lineker for position in 7th place and 8th on track respectively. But in the meantime, it's all been about Kieran Sneeman in this race. He had to wait a little while to get past Slamet after Slamet got the whole shot. But he was not going to be denied, and he will take the double here today as the checkered flag drops. Victory for Kieran Sneeman, his second of the day. Great riding there from the youngster. In second position, your reigning champion, Malcolm Rapson, another second place. He'll be happy with that. And Mark van den Berg, another solid ride, this time a little bit more lonely. But, oh, wait, there's Slamet. Where's van den Berg? Slamet has come through in 3rd place. Mark van den Berg will finish 4th. Just ahead of Hilton Redlingace. So something went wrong with Mark van den Berg's bike. His hand on his hip as he crossed the line. He was less than impressed. But his Suzuki was ailing on the final lap, and he lost a place for it. And I think he'll be very, very disappointed with that. Actually, that might just cost him the podium for the day.
Watching now, Matthew van Niekerk. Matthew Duzer comes across the line now, the winner of the Superbike Challenge class, and Brad Bosworth will get second in class. Jamie Hall crossing the line in the 600s. He's third in the 600s. Wayne Orenser gets third place in the Superbike Challenge class, 13th overall. And two more bikes on circuit. Quinton Weening, number 85, the Yamaha, and we wait for the Fireblade of Daniel Frost. Here we go. Daniel Frost should be coming to right about now, and that is in 15th and last position. Unfortunately, Slade van Niekerk dropping it in this race. Sean McCrill, who was entered for the day, not taking any part in either race.